In other news, one man is hurt, another is being questioned by police after shooting in the parking lot outside of Rockford Secretary of State's office.
Rockford Police Chief Carla Red says the shooting happened around 1:30 today in the 3700 block of East State Street. That's a parking lot near the Secretary of State facility where the victim was found. Red says the victim will survive. We're still waiting to learn who this victim is and the alleged shooter.
The victim ended up going inside the DMV after being shot. It's too early to tell whether or not this was a targeted incident. As we get more information, we'll definitely update you.